Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Internet Idiots. Today we're going to scour Reddit again and see if we can find more people worth laughing at. I gotta say, I really like the Am I the Asshole ones. There's just a lot of nuance to them, so we're going to do a few more of those today. The first one being, am I the ass for telling my friend he can't stay at my apartment anymore after he insulted my girlfriend? I, 28, let my friend Carl, also 28, crash at my apartment for a few days while he was between jobs. My girlfriend came over the other night, and Carl straight up told her that she was too good for me and she could do better. I told him that that was disrespectful and that he needed to apologize. He refused and said he was just being honest. So I told him he had to go find somewhere else to stay. He packed his stuff and he left. But now he's telling everyone that I chose a girl over a friend. My other friends are split because some say that I overreacted and others say he crossed a line. Am I the ass? Wow, no, you are not the ass. Not for that. Holy crap. I don't think any friend, none of my friends would have done anything like that. Not if they were a real friend. And also, he didn't insult your girlfriend, dude. He totally insulted you. He was saying that you're not good enough, that she's too good for you and she can do better. That was an insult to you. I don't really know what to say for the friends that you have that are on his side either. That's also a little strange because, to be honest, if I went to anyone and was like, hey, someone said this to me, they'd be like, what a dick, you know? Like, that's just really strange. Now, I saw in the comments there were some people saying that this guy probably said something like that because he wanted to take the girlfriend, and I think that there's a possibility there, but I don't think that's what actually is happening. It feels to me like you have this guy who's kind of down on his luck right now, doesn't have a job, doesn't have a place, obviously, and likely doesn't have a girlfriend of his own, or if he does, maybe is not as happy in the relationship as they seemingly are, and so he's just being a dick, you know? He's kind of an anchor right now, and he's dragging someone else down, or trying to. That's what it felt like to me. I'm not an expert on this. I don't know the situation, but that did not feel very cool. And I don't think you're the ass at all. Telling him to go, or at the very least, like he didn't apologize, dude, no. So I read this next one just a little bit, and it's pretty strange. Am I the ass for saying my daughter's friend's dad likes me? I, 53, female, am a single mother and have a daughter, Rue, 12, whose best friend Faye, also 12, lives just a couple streets away in our neighborhood. Faye is at our house what feels like every day. And they're very close, though I'm not myself super close with Faye's parents. To spare you too much reading, let me highlight just a few key points I feel add needed context to the situation before getting into the comment in question. Faye is usually able to walk home from our house since she's so close, but gets picked up by her mom or dad occasionally when weather is bad or they're going straight to a cheer practice or dinner or an event, etc. When Faye's mother picks her up, she just pulls up outside and sends an I'm here text and waits for Faye to come out. This is also what all the other parents do. Faye's father and I have only shared a couple texts between us, always about the girls, before all communication was changed to a group text with both him and Faye's mom in it. He later told me in person, sorry, my wife just doesn't like me texting other women without her. Red flag number 1. Just keep that in mind. One of the only other times I've talked to Faye's father is when I ran into him at a school function and the talk turned into tennis. I mentioned we should go play sometime, as in take the girls to go play, and he responded with, yeah, I bet you were great with balls. Red flag number 2, dude. When Faye's father comes to pick her up, he does not wait outside and send a text like all the other parents. No, he walks into my house, silently, and stands there. Usually in front of the living room, which is also where the entrance to my bedroom is. On multiple occasions, I've walked out in my pajamas and been scared half to death by the man silently standing in my home. It's disturbing. It makes me feel uncomfortable and honestly unsafe. The most recent time this happened, I was in my pajamas and watching TV in my bedroom. I hear the door open, but Rue and Faye were downstairs already. I hear him ask, is your mom home? And Rue says, yes, she's in her room asleep. He says he doesn't believe her, and I hear him walking towards my bedroom door saying, I'll just check. Before Rue tells him to wait and runs into my room, she whispers, hand me your phone, and runs back out with it saying, here, see? Why would she be gone with her phone here? He accepts this and then left with Faye. So the day after this most recent event, I'm talking to one of my other daughters, Marie, 28. And while I'm telling her about this, I make a comment. I guess he just likes me or something. Not really clocking that Rue was near listening. Today, Rue just out of the blue says, Faye's dad doesn't like you, by the way, because she brought that comment up to Faye. Now I'm freaking out because I don't know what kind of awkward tension or drama this will cause with Faye's view of me, and especially if it gets back to her parents. Am I the ass for making this comment? Was it out of line to blow up, or am I overthinking this entire thing and letting my anxiety get to me? Now, she makes an edit where she essentially says that she does lock the door and she has like a keypad and, there's it's a code lock and her daughters know it. So maybe they invite the guy in or maybe they've shared the lock, the code with him. Weird that you're worried about your comment more so than about this guy's actions, the things that he's done. It's strange behavior and it's not normal behavior for him to be acting this way. Going into your house when everyone else just sends a text to you and says, hey, I'm here, can I collect my kid? Weird for him to invite himself in and then just stand around kind of near your bedroom where you're often just hanging out by yourself. And pairing that with the comments that he made, like, yeah, I bet you're good with balls. Yeah. Ugh, dude, you have no issue with your comment. Saying, I guess he just likes me or something. Weirdly, you don't have enough of a reaction to this. That's what I find strange. So what I would do about the real issue in this situation is I would talk to him, probably over text, and be like, hey, next time, don't just invite yourself into my house. Send a text like all the other parents do. It's easier that way. And then if he continues to disrespect those boundaries, I would contact his wife and say, hey, here's what he does, and it's weird. It's just weird. And, just let him know I don't want you doing that. And if he's not going to stop doing that, could you just pick her up every time instead of him? Because that's the weird part, Unless for some reason you're into it, you need to make that stop. Oh, and change the code on your thing and don't let anyone give it to him, okay? Give it to your daughter, and it's fine to give it to Faye, maybe, but don't give it to him. Last thought on that. Okay, interesting. Am I the ass for peeing in the backyard? My roommate hates when I or my other roommates pee in the backyard and says it's gross. She wants us to stop. We refuse to, however. It's not in the way or where people would be walking either. We have 2 dogs that pee and poop back there anyways. Sometimes I feel like a good backyard pee is necessary to rebalance yourself and become one with nature. Am I the ass? Yeah, that one's kind of funny. So, I didn't believe in penis envy. I didn't know that was a real thing, but it is genuinely a real thing. I can guarantee that if you go to any of your female friends and ask them, is it annoying if that you're on a road trip with, some friends and they stop and pull off and go pee, does that bother you? Does it bother you that they can do that because you have to wait for like a rest stop or like a restaurant or something, a gas station? And I guarantee you they're going to say yes. They hate that. Why can't I do that, right? There's literally products out there that you can like cup your area with and it turns it into a little funnel so you can do that. I think it's called the You Go Girl. I'm pretty sure. So like, yeah, it sounds like it bothers her. I don't know if it's just a penis envy thing. It could be that it is gross to her. She doesn't like it, but that's not her call. You're totally right. It's your backyard, so long as it's not open to the public. That'd be one thing. If she's like, dude, the neighbors have kids, but if you're fenced in and no one can see you, who cares? Stop worrying about it. It's not like you're going out there rolling in the grass and like soaking up my piss, okay? Just don't think about it. Make that aspect of me irrelevant to you. You have a problem here, not me, man. I'm just pissing. I love that part at the end too where he's like, I'm just like reconnecting with nature, man. I love that. I would go to her and be like, you know what? I'm an activist. And I believe that because of the drought problems that we continue to have, flushing the toilet because of urine alone, it's non-essential. And so I'm going to give my water back to the earth. See if she likes that. She probably won't. Am I the ass for sending a dish home with the guest who brought it? Had some guests over the house yesterday. Specifically mentioned that we would have snacks and otherwise. Someone took it upon themselves to make a dip, completely unprompted, and bring it to the house. It was a nice gesture for sure, but as they were leaving, I tried to give them their dish back so they could bring it home. They insisted on getting it another time, even though they had a bag with them to carry said dish. I jokingly mentioned, so what? You bring a dish to my house and now I have to clean it for you? You're basically bringing chores to my house. Channeling my inner Larry David. The guests then got incredibly pissed, called me rude, threatened to never bring anything ever again, mentioned how they brought this out of kindness. Personally, if the dish had been forgotten, I wouldn't have cared about cleaning it. But it wasn't forgotten and they clearly refused to take it home when offering their dish back. Am I the ass here? This one is weird. This one can kind of go a couple different ways here. So I'm going to put myself in the shoes of the person who brought the dish. Let's say the party's over and I look at the bowl and realize there's still an amount of dip in there, right? And it seemed everyone liked it. It seemed the host liked it. So you guys hold on to it, you know? Enjoy the rest of the dip. I made it for you, right? That's where I'm coming from. I made that dip for you. I don't need it. I'm not thinking about the bowl. And then when she snaps back like, oh, you're bringing me chores? I'd be like, dude, what the and that's where it would be disrespectful, right? Now, if it were empty and it was just a dirty dish, then that's weird. That's on me, right? If I'm like, no, you keep it. I'll come get it another time. That's weird, you know? So I don't really know what happened here, but I think it was an assy comment you made about the chores. Even if you're trying to be funny, it came off rude. And that is probably where you messed up. I'm not going to just straight up say you're an ass, but it wasn't a good comment. So I can understand that person's perspective on that. Here's my thing. If the dish had dip in it and there was still plenty of dip left, you're the dick. If it was completely empty and just a washable item, he's also a dick. That's how that one ends, man. Okay, on to the next one. Am I the ass for gawking at cute guys in my campus? So I really like this guy from an older section, but mainly because he's very handsome. I've never talked to him before or tried to, but I like admiring him from afar. I even stay late during breaks just so I could look at him more. I very much expressed this to my friends. Whenever he passes by, I start violently shaking them and telling them how cute he is. And I kind of do this almost every day. But today I was looking at him again and my friends confronted me about it and told me I was being a creep and I was giving off stalkerish vibes and told me to leave the guy alone. Just to be clear, we are still really great friends. Am I the ass? Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. And I don't, so look, it's one thing to like notice a person. And if you have classes with them too, to like continue to notice. I remember like back in school, I'd see the cute girl and she'd be in my class and I'd glance over at her. Who didn't, right? She's the cute girl. Come on, you're gonna look. But man, if it gets to the point where you're staying late so that you can continue to watch them longer, okay, weird. If you're violently shaking your friends saying, look how cute it is. And look, I get it, like, because it's the same way where like you see a cute dog, right? And you like shake your friends. You're like, look, oh my God, it's so cute. You know, but like that's a person and you want to, if you feel that way, you need to go talk to them, maybe start a friendship. Like you're getting to a point where it's weird. It's really weird now. And so at this point, right, if you think the person is that handsome, honestly, one of the best things you could probably do is walk up to him and say that. I'm pretty sure he would be flattered by that. I don't know many guys who would be like, oh, fine, get away. You know, like I don't know many guys who would do that. Leave a note in his locker, you know? I think you're cute. I think you're a good looking guy. I think you're handsome. And then be done with it. And if you're not going to do that, then you need to do something else. Like you can't be doing this anymore. It's creepy. Am I the ass for keeping a wins notebook even though my girlfriend says it makes her feel judged? So I'm a 30-year-old man and I've been trying to work on myself this year. I grew up in one of those families where like nothing was ever celebrated. You get an A, okay, cool. Birthday, congrats on aging, I guess. So now as an adult, I kind of suck at recognizing anything good in my own life. My therapist told me to start writing down small wins, so I actually noticed them instead of just brushing them off. So I bought this cheap notebook and I just jot stuff down in it at night. Literally like, went to the gym even though I wanted to rot in bed, or didn't snap during a stressful meeting, stuff like that, and it actually helps. My girlfriend, 28, saw me writing in it one night and asked what it was. I told her and she thought it was sweet at first. But over the last month, she's gotten weird about it. Like, she'll see me write something down after we hang out, and she'll be like, "Are you grading our time together?" Or she'll joke, but not really joke, that she doesn't want to end up in the notebook in a bad way. I keep telling her it's literally not about her. I don't write anything about her unless it's positive, like, "Girlfriend surprised me with coffee, made my day," that kind of thing. She said that still makes her feel judged because she thinks if I don't write something after we hang out, it means she didn't do anything notebook worthy, which is not how it works at all. She finally told me she wants me to stop writing in it because it makes her feel watched. I offered to keep it in my backpack and just write in it at work or the car. She said it feels like I'm sneaking around and keeping secrets. I kind of feel like I'm losing my mind here because it's literally just a dumb notebook helping me fix my brain a little. It's not a relationship scoreboard. I'm not hiding anything. It's not even about her 90% of the time. She says if I keep doing it, it means I'm choosing the notebook over her emotional comfort. Am I the ass? No. And I think, after reading that, I know why you're having some mental health problems. It sounds to me like your girlfriend is a little conceited, like kind of self-absorbed a little bit, and that's kind of on her at that point. She needs to find her own therapy for that. Your therapist literally gave you this as an assignment. You know, this is for your mental health. And if your girlfriend, who should be on your side, right, who should be your partner, if she can't understand that, is she's putting herself and her feelings before your mental health needs. I say this, and I'll say it every time, I will put my mental health over anything else. I will be selfish only about one thing, and that is mental health. I think maybe the best case scenario, because I'm not going to just like blatantly judge your girlfriend and say that she's just like awful and conceited and narcissistic or anything. You know, she might, obviously you care about each other. So what I would do is I'd say, look, if you love me and you know that I'm trying to work on myself, can you please come to one of my therapy sessions with me? Just one time. It's an hour long. That's all I need, right? Come to one of my sessions, and I would like you to explain to my therapist how it makes you feel. And maybe she can help you understand why it's good for me to have this notebook. You know, that I think would be the best way to kind of settle this. Just put it on the professional, you know. They're the ones who instigated the book. So say, hey, I would like you to talk to my therapist, and let's see if we can come to an agreement about this. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any ideas on certain topics that you want me to cover, please let me know in the comments below. And until then, I will see you next time.